I am officially through 630 episodes of One Piece as the 1,000th episode has passed by me. I'm not going to catch up in time, but I've watched like 300 episodes in the past 3 months, so I'm trying to chug along in this huge edifice of entertainment that I want to get to and catch up on, because even after I catch up, there's still going to be more years of me watching One Piece and this great pirate universe that I've been watching. So I wanted to give my thoughts on Punk Hazard before I jump to the next arc, Dressrosa. And Dressrosa should be jam-packed with a lot happening, because Punk Hazard story builds a good amount. And I didn't really want to talk about Fishman Island too much, because Fishman Island didn't really offer too much, especially since I already got spoiled that Luffy was going to ask Jinbei to join the crew, and then Jinbei was like, I have something to do. I wouldn't even know what that thing really is. Is it protecting Fishman Island? Who knows? But I got spoiled that fact right there with Jinbei. The other cool things that we learned is that Luffy picked a fight with Big Mom, and Luffy was not scared about that at all. He was confident as always and says, you shouldn't take advantage of these people to just give a ton of candy to one of the Yonko, and you meet like 2 of the proxy soldiers that do the negotiating for Big Mom, and they don't really like Luffy. And Caribou, what happens to Caribou at the end? Caribou's like a rookie, useless part of the story because he's not going to offer anything in the end. I guess he was one of those like conflicts that is just in the layering of conflicts that Oda does so well in the arcs, but in Fishman Island it just really wasn't there. Hody Jones was kind of a repeat of Arlong. We kind of get the conclusion of the discrimination between regular humans and the fishman race and the mermaids. Sanji finally gets to his all blue with all the mermaids, has like nosebleed situations because he hasn't seen women in 2 years. 2 long-term facts. I already said the Big Mom thing. We also learned that Shirahoshi is one of the 3 like ancient weapons. What's the other 2? I think Nico Robin's storyline for like the whole entire show is probably one of the more compelling ones, because you stop becoming a brave warrior. Brook trying to find Naboo when they finally get to Rafto. Frankie trying to see Thousand Sunny go the whole trip. But Nico Robin trying to find the void in the marine history. That's interesting, and I can't wait to see what's actually there. So Fishman Island, you get to see all the crew's new skills. You get to see what Luffy and Zoro think of what a hero is. Luffy is like, a hero has to share all of his meat, and Zoro's like, a hero has to share all of his alcohol. So that's what they think a hero is. They want to be pirates, and they are pirates indeed. They came to the rescue. They helped Fishman Island. They defeated the steroid Hody Jones, and in the entire arc, there was no penalty for the steroid use, other than, at the end they were all like senile and fragile in the jail, so I guess that was their consequence. But that was very long term, not short term. I guess that's kind of what Oda was trying to say about steroids. So moving on to Punk Hazard, and Punk Hazard, as soon as you get to the island, you get this like fact that this island in the New World, and also this island's actually in the New World. Fishman Island was like, you get the time skip and you're just given a tease of the crew's new powers in combination with the New World. You just get their new powers, not the New World. You're still stuck in paradise. But now we're finally getting to the New World. This scary part, the part where Luffy becomes king of the pirates, and Luffy's bounty is gonna skyrocket, because I actually know his current bounty right now. Such spoilers, because it's so much compared to his current bounty. And right now, for Punk Hazard, Zoro's bounty is like 120 million, and that's like a pure joke, because Luffy's like is 400, and then we have Trafalgar Law, who's like around like 460 million. So there's no way Zoro's that small, or at least compared to the other big fish in the New World. But you get to Punk Hazard, and then it's this island that has had a pretty vivid last like decade, because before the whole Akainu Akoji battle, and I'll talk about that in a second, Vegapunk is like there, and he's making these new technologies. We don't really know too much about Vegapunk at all still. And we also don't know about the Revolutionary Army at all. The Revolutionary Army wasn't mentioned at all in Fishman Island, at all in Punk Hazard. Maybe it was indirectly mentioned and I'm just not picking up on the clues, but wow, it probably brushed me right by because I didn't see it mentioned at all. So I still know nothing about the Revolutionary Army, but we get to Punk Hazard, and before that duel of the Marine Admirals, you find out that Vegapunk's been doing like experiments there. He's the Marine leading scientist, and he actually has learned to create man-made devil fruits. Or did he try and then Caesar Clown picked up on his research and then Caesar Clown finally succeeded? I don't know the exact way on it, but either way, Vegapunk was very close to discovering man-made devil fruits, if not he was the one who discovered it. And then we find out that Caesar Clown made this whole explosion of toxic gas that killed all of its prisoners and inhabitants. And then later on, we get this Aokiji and Akainu duel because at the end of Marineford, Sengoku, the fleet admiral, stepped down. So who's going to be the fleet admiral? Some people at like the top of the world government wanted Akainu. Some people Sengoku wanted Aokiji. You get that detail actually at the end of Marineford. So going into the time skip, you're like, okay, Aokiji's a brand new fleet admiral, but it actually is Akainu, and Kizaru is still an admiral. We don't know who the other two admirals yet, and we actually don't even know the full set of warlords yet, but warlords aren't even that strong, so I guess we probably shouldn't worry about that anymore. But Aokiji stepped down, and you actually get to see Aokiji at the end of this arc protecting Captain Smoker from Doflamingo. And just saying that sentence at all is kind of very strange because that doesn't involve the crew at all. I mean, it does in some way, because of the whole arc. But just like, if you told me that, Doflamingo is going to fight like Aokiji at the end of Punk Hazard, I'm going to be like, what the hell happened at Punk Hazard? Well, it is sort of connected, sort of not. So we get the whole island. It's like half fire, half ice. Vegapunk made multiple dragons, and like the newer versions of the dragons are more agile. And apparently the newer dragon did not like Brook at all because Brook is just bones, and Brook took that personally. We meet Kinemon, which is one of the samurai from the Wanu Kingdom. I actually am spoiled that the current arc is taking place on that island, and that Kinemon is still with the crew. So I don't know what Kinemon was doing on the island, but Kinemon, he was trying to save his son Momosuke, who ate a devil fruit and now is this dragon. Is going to have to learn how to control his Zoan ability, but I'm pretty sure his ability is man-made. And we also get the fact that Trafalgar Law is now a warlord now, and he partnered with Caesar Clown, who is aspiring to be the #1 scientist in the world, pretty much. And Trafalgar Law becomes a warlord, fights Captain Smoker. I still just love his character because he's just cool, calm, and collected. Same as Smoker, same as Zoro. He's just this, what's up? I'm just, whatever. And we find out that Trafalgar Law wants to take down Kaido, one of the Yonkou. Luffy agrees because as long as it's not Shanks, Luffy's all for it. And we find out that Caesar Clown kidnapped these kids, and Trafalgar Law didn't really do anything about it because he's focused on the partnership with Luffy to get to Kaido. And Trafalgar Law's strategy is to pretty much destroy the SAD manufacturing plant, because the SAD manufacturing plant makes these man-made devil fruits that Doflamingo kind of then sends to Kaido, so Kaido can build an army of devil fruit people. And he has already built an army of 500 people with devil fruit abilities, the Zoan type. We don't really know how strong the Smile man-made devil fruit is. Usopp walked into a room with like gorillas for like a second, but that doesn't really show anything. It's just like a teaser of what Smiles are going to be in the future. And Doflamingo, who's also a warlord, is kind of undermined by Law, because Law used to work for the Joker, and we find out that Doflamingo's like mansion is on Dressrosa, and that's going to be the next arc, and that's very exciting. And it's just like pretty much most of like the conflict takes place on the winter side of the island, and we get these beautiful shots of like Luffy in this like red and white parka. It looks so cute. And I love snow, so any type of snow is just amazing. And this arc had just a beautiful underlying tension of like the purple smoke slowly coming in that's gonna suffocate you, but in the end it just made you petrified, but you could be returned to life later. At the end they had a feast, as always. One storytelling device that was used for the first time was when Luffy was attacking Caesar Clown for the first time, and Luffy is like about to kill him. You start getting this triumphant music like, oh, Luffy's about to take down Caesar Clown, and then it like drops like this, so, you know, get the building, and then it drops, and then you're like, oh wow, Caesar Clown just removed the oxygen from the air. Luffy found out the weakness to that. He could just get outside the radius of that, because Caesar Clown can't do that everywhere. And then Luffy defeats Caesar Clown with his haki, with his Aeromet haki, and it's confirmed that Sanji and Zoro also have haki, and you know, so does Captain Smoker and Tashigi. Tashigi does, but Tashigi never uses it on the whole arc. And I love how Captain Smoker is just still relevant, still pursuing who knows what, just trying to take down Luffy, but never going to be able to, because Luffy's always one step ahead. And Zoro like screams to Luffy like, don't let your guard down, because as soon as Zoro passes Luffy in his own ability, then Zoro leaves the crew, and that's what he said before, and this is just like a restatement at that, and you're like, wow, Zoro is taking this extremely seriously to become the world's best swordsman, more serious than anybody, arguably more serious than Luffy. And Luffy's pretty serious. And Caesar Clown probably goes down as the least likable antagonist, because he literally kidnapped children to experiment on them so they can become giants, and then he knew that the experiment was going to fail and they were going to die anyways. But then while they were doing that, he got them addicted to the psychedelic, so that if they tried to leave the facility, they would come back wanting this candy. So child manipulation at its finest, and just straight murder without consent of the parents or the kids. And Caesar Clown was calling his own soldiers guinea pigs. Just gross, and he felt so good when Luffy, you know, hit him with that. Well, it wasn't bazooka, but with that Aeromet haki. And you see Luffy use haki against like the soldiers, the haki's conquerors, and you learn that Law doesn't have that ability, so Luffy's actually above Law in skill level. From the storytelling of One Piece, it looks like Shanks is going to be the last Yonko to go down, like Luffy's going to meet Shanks. And then Blackbeard's going to be second to last, and then Kaido or Big Mom are going to go down by Luffy, maybe. And Doflamingo is so pissed when Luffy captures Caesar Clown, because Luffy's crew captured Caesar Clown at the end of the day, that he can't help Kaido get the smiles, and that was Law's plan for Kaido to kill Doflamingo, but Doflamingo is smarter than that, and he's going to find some sneaky way to still remain a warlord, or still remain in connection to the underground world of the New World, and still be the Joker, and still work with Kaido. Doflamingo is slimy, so he's going to figure out a situation out of there. And I have no idea if Doflamingo's like power of like mental manipulation to get you to do whatever you want is even going to work on people who have haki. like Luffy. Like there's no way that manipulation can work on Luffy when like normal soldiers are already trying to resist it slowly. Like, yeah. I mean, Doflamingo is a very interesting character. He wants to be Pirate King at least, maybe, because Baby Five and Buffalo, also proxy negotiators or soldiers for Doflamingo. Baby Five says like, okay, you're gonna be Pirate King, and Luffy's gonna be that. So, good luck, Dressrosa. Lots gonna happen. Okiji. So the Mugiwara pirate crew leave Punk Hazard, and Doflamingo jumps in the air to get to the island, and G5, the Navy unit with the Shigi, is still there, and Doflamingo starts to really beat up Captain Smoker, and then right as Captain Smoker is about to die, Okiji arrives on his little penguin, and we don't really know Okiji's motive yet at all on what he's doing. He just said to Smoker, like, let Akainu know that Doflamingo is planning something, and we don't know what he's planning, but yeah. So we're about to get into the storylines of one of the Yonkou, and we have no idea what the Revolutionary Army is, but things are coming up big. And Eustace, Captain Kidd, and the other rookies such as like Hawkins, they're in like an alliance too. So Luffy and Law have an alliance, a beautiful alliance of friendship, because that's what Luffy thinks an alliance is. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Punk Hazard. I love the snow. I love seeing how Chopper cares so much about the kids and his responsibilities as a doctor. When he went into the room and Law was like cutting up the kids and taking out all the bad parts, Chopper's like, no, Law's a murderer. And then Brook knocks down Kinemon, who's still petrified, and Brook's like, I'm a murderer too. And I gotta say, I'm liking Brook more and more. So like, easily my top two favorite crewmates on the Straw Hats is Luffy and Zoro, and then the next tier is probably like Usopp, Nico Robin, and then Brook. And Brook has done it with me with those skull jokes, like, I don't have no eyes, and Brook's doing it for me. I like that. Alright, so that's it from me here, and then I'll give my thoughts about the next One Piece arc, if it's captivating enough. Because I'm really trying to push through, but I'm also taking thorough notes and enjoying the series at the same time.
私はともかくキエモンさん、あなたなぜそんなドラゴンを親の敵みたいに。親の敵、当然